Eternal torment, endless pain and devastating anguish. The concept of hell is thousands of years old, but does it really exist? And is there any evidence of its presence? Reported near-death experiences so often praise the divine and the realization of a greater beyond. However, some delve into the horrendous. What does it mean when a near-death experience is steeped in trauma? Have some people really been to hell and back? Today we dive into two stories that originate from the very depths of the underworld, and we ask ourselves, could hell really exist? Welcome to Mysteries Retold. Our first story comes from Gerald Johnson, a priest in Michigan. In February 2016, Gerald suffered a heart attack and claims he died and was sent to hell. The experience was one that would change his life forever, as he emphasizes that he would not wish the events on his worst enemy. Gerald states that after his heart attack, he was launched to the center of the earth, which is where he encountered demons, death, and eternal suffering. Gerald describes that his spirit left his physical body. Being a priest and having done so much good in his life, he felt as if he would be raised up to heaven. He was not, and was plunged to where he met indescribable horror. Gerald was met with heat, fire, and anguish. As he fell deeper into the flames, Gerald shares some of the horrors he witnessed. He saw a man walking on all fours like a dog. The man was being burned from head to toe, and his eyes were bulging out of his skull. He had huge chains around his neck which cut his skin. The man was crawling around on all fours like a hellhound in agony, as a demon took great pleasure in holding and pulling on the chain, continually tormenting the man. All around Gerald there were pits of death. Everything around him was decaying or dead. There was a stench in the air, making almost every breath impossible to take. The fumes from the environment burnt his lungs. Just being there was unrelenting torment. A sense of isolation and hopelessness pervades hell, where individuals suffer not only physically, but spiritually and emotionally. The absence of light contributes to an overwhelming sense of darkness and despair. Hell is a place without reprieve, where the concept of time loses its conventional meaning, and the torment is unending. The air was thick with anguish, and the sounds of wailing, moaning, and gnashing of teeth created a haunting symphony of suffering. Gerald says telepathically, he knew the demon had been sent to the man's life to torment him from childhood through to his death. The demons know that if they can avert individuals from serving God, he will be able to overpower them in hell, and they will forever become his slave. There is also an area in hell where Gerald remembers hearing popular music echoing around. However, the songs were being endlessly repeated by demons. They were mocking those they were torturing with the music. Every word of every song was sung to torture and point at the individual's reluctance to praise God while they were on earth. Everything about his experience pushed mockery, pain, and destruction onto Gerald. Gerald said he felt angry. Angry because he had committed his life to do good, but had still ended up being sent to hell. Eventually, Gerald rose out of hell, returning to earth and speaking with God. Gerald explains that God told him that he had secretly been angry with the people that had harmed him during his life. He had wished punishment on them rather than forgiving. God went on to state that they are not Gerald's people to pass judgment on, and he needs to focus on his own tasks. Gerald returned to Earth and our world. He has made a full recovery, but the experience still terrifies him. Gerald ends his story stating that a man who cannot forgive is a man who forgot that he was forgiven. That is my experience from hell.